Hello and welcome once again to AKA Science. It's me, Max. This video will be going over the activities for Class 2 of our environmental science curriculum, Biodiversity Blitz. On top of our normal agenda, this class features a land acknowledgement prior to the beginning of Activity 1. If you're unfamiliar with a land acknowledgement, check out the one we provided for you in our curriculum packet. Today's key terms are adaptation, biodiversity, climate, hypothesis, invasive species, and weather. Take a moment to check your supplies and let's get started with our land acknowledgement. We here at AKA Science understand that our beloved Pacific Northwest was once home to countless indigenous peoples. The territory we today know as Oregon contains the ancestral homelands of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, and Molalla nations, just to name a few. We hope in our affirmation of this truth to remind our students and instructors of our ongoing efforts to reconcile with and uplift the indigenous peoples whose lands and water we benefit from today. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and begin our first activity. For this, we will need the pica nest drawings, the pica tokens, and the bag of beans labeled Pica Game. Begin by laying the pica nest drawings into a triangle shape on the ground. Tell them they are now picas living on a mountain, and distribute the pica tokens to your students. And have each student pick one nest to stand on. Next, announce that the usual cold climate of the mountain has been experiencing particularly warm weather, and as a result, the picas on the lower parts of the mountain overheated and were not able to collect enough food. Have any students who chose nests on the lower 3 steps of the mountain stand to the side. Grab the bag of beans and have your students pick new nests. Then have each student draw 4 beans out of the bag. Once all the students have their beans, tell them that the brown beans are baby picas and the white beans are food. So anyone with more picas than food, unfortunately, will not survive the winter. Have any students with more brown than white beans step off the mountain. You can repeat the process by changing the amount of beans each student draws from the bag. Now get the beans back into the bag and get the students ready for the next activity, the hunt for biodiversity. This activity is fairly straightforward. You'll only need the Hunt for Biodiversity scavenger hunt sheet, which you can find in the envelope included with your kit, and of course, pencils for your students to mark their observations. Distribute the worksheets and take your students to a safe outdoor area so they can begin exploring the biodiversity of the surrounding area. After giving the students a solid amount of time to catalog their findings, encourage them to discuss and compare their findings with one another. Move the students back inside and get ready for the last activity, Attack of the Invasive Species. This time around, we're going to need the large aluminum pan included in the kit, the paper towels, the smaller aluminum pie pans, the toothbrushes, pitcher, cloth pieces, the small bag labeled boats, the jar of oregano, and a bundle of newspaper. First thing we're going to do is fill the large aluminum pan with water and add the oregano. Tell the students the large pan is a lake infested with invasive zebra mussels. Distribute the smaller pie pans and fill them with water. Then distribute the bamboo boats and have your students sail the boats around the mussel-infested lake. Then have your students make a hypothesis about what will happen to the clean water in the pie pans if you remove the boat from the lake and put it back into the clean water. Next, have them move their boats directly from the lake into the pie pans of clean water to test their hypothesis. Remove the boats and review the results, being sure to remind the students to compare their results with the original hypothesis. Now, replace the contaminated pie pan with a pan of fresh water and distribute the toothbrushes, cloth pieces, and paper towel/newspaper to each student and have them sail once again through the zebra mussels. This time, instead of going directly into the clean water, have the students test the different methods and materials of cleaning the mussels off the boats before entering the uncontaminated water system. Once the boat is clean, have them put the boats into the clean water and compare the results to the previous test. Encourage them to discuss what methods seemed to work the best for removing the invasive species from the hulls of the boat and what did not seem as effective. Now it's time to clean up and debrief. Get the class to help you tidy the space you have been working in and share any thoughts or questions they have about today's activities. And with that, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in Class 3.